video on this game for quite some time, but here we are, we're back in the Stomping land, and there has been an update. In fact, not just one update, but several. If you've watched the last video, you'll know that there was a lot of dissatisfaction regarding the communication with the developers and the backers of the game, both those who helped it on Kickstarter and those who have since bought into the early access like myself. There's been a lot of unhappiness regarding the fact that we were led to believe we'd get an update every week, and we hadn't had one in 4 months, and no reason as to why, until a few weeks ago. Jig, one of the main developers in the game, went to Kotaku and told them we're basically working on transferring it to Unreal Engine 4. Since then, Jig has returned to the forums and basically said, you know, we tried. Sorry, well, he didn't actually say sorry. We'll get to that. But he said we tried swapping it over to Unreal Engine 4, and we just found that the amount of time that it would take to get it done just wasn't worth it at this moment in time. So what they decided to do is go back to developing the game on UDK, and then once it's finished and all the content has been added and you essentially have a complete game, they can work on actually transferring it across to Unreal Engine 4. But we'll have all the content added, all the dinosaurs and whatnot at that point. That wasn't all he said. He basically came along and had an actual update for us. So as you guys know, last time I mentioned that one of the creatures that they were intending to add was the Puertosaurus, a large sauropod, and they have added that in the game. I'm going to go and chase after that in this video and try and find it. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's absolutely enormous. So yeah, we've got a new dinosaur. They've also changed the crafting system, the inventory system, and really quite a lot of the game mechanics. First and foremost, if you remember, we had this inventory system, and before it was not functional at all. There was nothing you could do in here, and to a large extent it is still mostly useless. However, whereas before, when you kill a dinosaur and you cut it up, you'd get meat. Say I go to this Contourus. You see now I get a whole bunch of materials, and all those materials should get put into my inventory here. So vibrant feathers, light meat. So I no longer have those boxes that I have to lug around like before. And everything I get goes into my inventory. And there's a bunch of recipes here, so you can click on all the recipes and I can see, well, to make arrows I need 4 wood, 2 rock and 1 ugly feathers. And then what I would do is when I want to craft, I would drag the items down here, select the number that I need, and then craft it. And so you have all the recipes. It's not like Minecraft where you just have to remember what they are. You actually have all the recipes in here, and you actually see there's some new items in there as well. These traps, which I'll show you soon. Paint is not useful yet, and pretty much everything else isn't useful yet. But there are a wide variety of items that you can get from dinosaurs now. Not all of them have uses, but they will do in future updates. They're just basically in there as placeholders at the moment, I suppose. But yeah, it's a brilliant change in my opinion. I do like the mechanic of having to sort of carry loot around and physically drag something through the jungle back to base, but I think that that's something that should only be for select items. Perhaps, you know, if you get a particularly large item from a dinosaur or whatever like that, or a really big haul, you physically cannot carry it. Or perhaps you just you have a limited amount of inventory space, and so in order to carry more stuff, you build a box in order to drag it across the island and store stuff in, similar to chests in Minecraft. But yeah, that's the system at the moment. So there are no more physical items that you get really. As you can see, I just get wood and it just goes straight into my inventory. So as I mentioned, one of the new items. Oh shit. Uh, this isn't good. One of the new items that's been added is the trap. Christ, this wasn't a good idea. If I can run to the ocean, I'll lose him. This would have been a good idea to build a trap. Seems like I've lost him. Should be okay. Yeah, he's gone. Cool. Yeah, so, like I said, one of the new items that they've added are traps. And what we'll do is we'll actually just get away from this guy a little bit, because he's creeping me out. One of the things I've noticed, by the way, is the huge increase in dinosaur spawns. They're just everywhere now. I mean, as you've seen so far, there's been multiple Carnotauruses. There are a whole bunch of dead ones that died as I logged in. So it does make getting a loot a lot easier. Oh, you also notice there I get expertise. That's one of the things that have changed, is you no longer get expertise passively, but by killing and harvesting dinosaurs. So I get 4 expertise from that. Now, initially, oh, they've also added those markings and caves that you stand on and get 20 expertise from. Those no longer exist. Which, when I saw the patch notes, I thought, oh god, it's going to be a real pain to get expertise now. If anything, it's even easier than ever. I mean, let's see if I can find how much expertise I've got. 127, and that's from an hour. It's super easy to get expertise now. It's ridiculous. So that's something they'll probably change. I don't see the rate staying as it is now. And obviously I imagine that they'll end up reducing the amount of dinosaur spawns, because just now it's just ridiculous. There's far too many of them. And you can get 200 expertise just from walking around and finding dinosaur carcasses and harvesting from those, which is, I don't think, the way they intended for this update to go. It's supposed to make you feel vulnerable to start with, and that you have to actually really work at getting that expertise up, but if anything it's even easier than ever. But like I said, this is all work in progress, it's early access, so expect that to change. So yes, traps. Right, so this is a good idea to show you how to actually craft a trap. So for instance, a launch trap takes 2 rock, 5 tree sap, 5 wood. An arrow trap just takes 1 tree sap, 2 wood. So what we'll do is we'll add wood here, increase the amount to 2 tree sap, and we can make an arrow trap. And you see there, I got a guideline as I was creating the trap that could select the direction the arrow went in, and as soon as that ankylosaur walked through it, it triggered it. Traps are invisible. There's no physical model for them, so you have to remember where they are. They despawn after a few minutes, so they kind of have to be triggered fairly quickly. I don't know whether that will remain the same. I do think that they should have physical models for the players that craft them, just so you can actually see that you've made something and it's there. It feels a little bit lame that you're creating this invisible trap. It should have some basic sort of model of some kind, so you can see where it is. But But yeah, there's a whole bunch of traps you can make that will have various different effects. They're pretty cool. It's nice to have those added in. It should make PvP quite interesting. They've also added stampedes apparently, though I haven't actually seen them yet. So take from that what you will. They're supposedly they just go around the island in a set loop. Um, all dinosaurs can now be damaged by arrows, which means that you technically can kill a Carnotaurus. Before they were unkillable. You had to wait for a Styracosaur or an Ankylosaur to actually kill one, or you mounted a dinosaur yourself and actually killed it. But now you can kill all the dinosaurs apart from the Puertosaurus. As far as I'm aware, that is invincible, and I'm pretty sure they plan on keeping it that way. It's going to be untamable and unkillable. Campsites you can now build in caves. Like I said, there's a whole range of different materials that you can gather, such as vibrant feathers and whatnot. These will most likely be used in crafting more recipes to be added with future patches. They've said that armor customization. Obviously, if you've seen the early development videos, you could actually change the paint color on your character. So no doubt they'll start adding that. Oh god. Yeah, that's something I've seen a bit more often now as well. Dinosaurs actually hunting, which is really cool. It makes it feel like stuff's actually going on. Oh, he got fucked up. We'll go harvest him, see if we get any more interesting stuff. So they have actually added paints in, they just don't have a use yet. But I imagine we'll probably see that soon. There we go. So we got a heavy skull there. That I don't know what that will use. In the early development videos, you could actually craft. You could put skulls down around your camp, and I believe that deterred any dinosaurs from going near you. You know, they see a massive Carnotaurus skull, and they think, oh, this isn't the place I want to be. So that's something that could potentially be used. Perhaps it could be used to, in totems or armor or other buildings and stuff as ornaments and decoration. Yeah, that's the majority of what's been added so far. It's has changed how the game plays quite a lot, and it's a very welcome update. I mean, especially the inventory system. I think a lot of people have been wanting that for a while. Unfortunately, there still isn't a save system, so everything that you craft in everything that you have in game will disappear when you log out. At least in your inventory, you should still have weapons, but your inventory and your campsite will disappear on logout. But they have said that they are planning to add a save system soon, which is definitely good because I think they realised that solo play in particular just isn't as enjoyable when you know every time you've got to log in you have to rebuild everything, and now it's actually more difficult to build stuff like bows and whatnot because you haven't just got two materials, you've got a whole range of them. So you have to, you know, you can't just go up to here and then just have some wood, get some rock, and just build your entire camp. You actually have to go off and find carcasses of dinosaurs and get materials from those before you can make basic things like bows and arrows and whatnot. They have also shown a few models of dinosaurs that they're planning to add, but new dinosaurs probably won't be added until next year. Even the Puertosaurus itself is fairly buggy at this point, but the three dinosaurs they showed off are the Shangsungosaurus, I believe, which is a hadrosaur. That will probably be tameable, perhaps as sort of a large pack creature that you'll be able to store materials on and whatnot. What else did they show. They showed the new Gallimimus models because the models that they currently use, this one, is quite outdated. So there's going to be a new model, and there's been a vote going on about which colour they should use. Um, I'll put a picture up of the model that's currently winning the vote so you can see. But if you're still interested in casting your vote, then you can go over to the Stomping Land forums and find the post there. It's in the general discussion section. Yeah, what was the other dinosaur they added? So there's quite a lot of updates that have been put up in the past couple of weeks. Oh yeah, Ferrozinosaurus. That's eventually going to be added to the game, and they've shown off the model of that. And thankfully, it's very close to the concept artwork, which was fairly far out. It has sort of a bushy anteater / porcupine sort of tail. And it definitely looks unique. I'm really excited to see that added in the game. So far, all of the models look absolutely amazing. They're really, really good. They're the most realistic dinosaurs that I've seen in any game, but with a little bit of a sort of twist on how they appear, especially the Ferrozinosaurus. And yeah, obviously there's been a whole bunch of other stuff, but what they're planning to do, I believe, is sort of gradually optimize the game over the next few months, and then come next year, by that time, most of the optimization, most of the core gameplay changes should be done, and they can start adding new content like dinosaurs and whatnot. So what they've said is basically Jig put out sort of a timetable of what they want to get done, and oh, gotta be careful. I mean, crouching around, you generally don't get spotted that easily, but still gotta be careful. October, they're going to be optimizing the offline and online optimization, probably adding the save mechanics. Through November, they're going to be optimizing tribes and long-term gameplay. So I guess that will be adding new items, more buildings you can make. Oh, it's night time. Things like that, just to sort of add more depth to those systems. And then December will be cosmetics, which I'm assuming is... Jesus, still allowed, aren't they? Armor, skin colour changing, and things like that. So over the next 3 months, if what they're saying is true, we should expect quite a lot. Hopefully the majority of the basic core systems of the game will be done by December, and throughout the new year we'll be getting dinosaurs added. Hopefully the Helicopterion will be added next, because I really want to go out into the oceans, and they said they'd probably add like a kayak with that. But yeah, it's breathed some new life into the game, and I'm so glad that it's not gone extinct, as it were. I was... Shit. Oh. I didn't realise there was music when you died. That's kind of cool. That's new. I did not know that. I would be more bothered if expertise were harder to come by, but I can easily get that back, so it's not a big deal. The one problem is that I'm ages away from my favourite place, so I'm going to have to go back and find that. But yeah, so hopefully they add new dinosaurs in the new year. But so far, we've had quite a few updates. I think it's something like 3 updates since Jig first returned to the forums. And we're expecting another one this week, which is largely going to just be optimization. It won't be anything that players can physically see. but it should reduce latency and stuff like that, I believe. It won't be anything significant, but it will be necessary. But yeah, hopefully over the next few weeks we'll see a lot more updates, and maybe the Stomping Land can sort of make up for the lack of updates over the past few months. It would have been nice to get an apology after how badly Jig and the developers handled the previous few months, because it's not really nice to leave your fans on the edge like that. I mean, they did say, oh, here's why we do it, but it's like you still made a fairly big mistake in regards to game development, and it was never really apologised for. So I think that that's something that they should have really done. But, the important thing is we're now getting updates. That's what matters, and hopefully that continues. And, come the new year, we've got much more of a game to work with. At the moment, it's obviously been taken off Steam because it hadn't had an update in quite some time. But now that it is getting updates again, it might go on Steam once more. I would say that I would wait for 3 months or so before buying this game, just because I think they need to prove that they're actually really in this for the long haul before people start putting their money in it again. Because I heard Inside Gaming actually picked up this game as a story, and basically said, 2/3 of all games that get Kickstarters never get finished. So it's really not surprising that the Stomping Land might become one of them. I'm really hopeful it doesn't, but you do have to treat it with some degree of trepidation, and sort of be a bit careful and realise that you're putting money into something that may not get finished. But you know that when you're putting the money in. I knew that when I put the money in, and I'm okay with it because I like seeing how games develop and how they become complete items in time. So, sorry if I've rambled on a little bit. I'm going to try and find my way back to camp, and then I'm going to try and find a Puertosaurus and show you what that looks like. But until then, I'm going to have to try and survive the rest of the night. So, let's try and get home, and I'll show you a Puertosaurus. So, as you can tell from that loud sound, I found not one, but 2 Puertosaurus. Where's the other one gone? Oh, there he is. He's over there. But yeah, this is Puertosaurus. This is the new sauropod that was added in. As you can see, it's absolutely enormous. It's a bit buggy. Well, I say a bit buggy. It's very buggy. It gets stuck on rocks just like the other dinosaurs. It doesn't actually do anything other than walk around. Some of the animations don't exist, so when it turns around, it just spins. I think they basically added this just to have something in. Like, it's close to being finished, but I think they just wanted to get it in to show people, hey, we're still alive. But it looks visually amazing. It has the sort of presence that you'd expect of a massive dinosaur like that to have. You could see it miles off, like through the jungle. You just see him looming through the trees. I don't think that they can actually be killed or even get bothered by you. Yeah, it just didn't do shit. Oh, by the way, Stygimolochs can now be killed with 1 arrow. Thank God for that. Yeah. So that they don't actually do anything. As far as I'm aware, I may regret this, but as far as I'm aware, you can even run under them and they don't do anything. Yeah, look. I'm standing right underneath him and he's not doing anything. Oh, wait. I guess they can. They're just not easy to anger. Okay, so yes, they can they can hurt you. Before I did this and it didn't do anything, so I just assumed that they weren't able to do that yet. But I guess they can, so you can stay underneath them and whatnot for a short time, as long as you don't pester them too much. They're good protection because I find that other dinosaurs don't tend to bother them, and I think the plan is that eventually they'll act sort of like if you get chased by a dinosaur, you run under this guy, and the dinosaur sort of be like, I'm not going near that, and it'll sort of leave you alone, so you can use them to protect yourself from other dinosaurs. So man, that has quite a wide range on it. I'm guessing if you'd stood directly under him, you'd just die instantly. But yes, yeah, so, also you get 5 more arrows when you craft a bow now. It used to be 10, now it's 15. They've added quite a lot of little changes in here and there, and it's generally improved things dramatically. It's nice to have another dinosaur on the island, even one as buggy as this. It's nice. It looks great, and the one thing I do think though is that they should make dinosaurs spawn in specific parts of the island, rather than just having them spawn in random places. Because I feel like these guys should be on the open plains, and with the Gallimimus and the Carnotaurus and the Stygimoloch and the Styracosaurs should like sort of spawn in more forested areas and stuff like that, so each dinosaur sort of has locations that they favour. But yeah, that's the Poedosaurus. That's the latest dinosaur they've added into Primal Carnage. Don't piss it off too much or it'll stomp on you. I suppose that's where the game gets its name from. But yeah, I hope you've liked this video, and no doubt if they keep going the way they're going, we'll have plenty more updates to do in the weeks to come. I'm excited. I'm glad this game has got new life in it, and I'm really excited to see the Stomping Land finished. I really hope it gets there. I think it'll be a brilliant game if they manage to complete it. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.